Hi everyone and welcome back. This week we will continue on the soft skills for practicing physicians and I will discuss stress management and resilience. And honestly, talking about this topic is never easy because it's a hot topic at all times. I will just try to discuss some of the strategies for healthy and sustainable career. Hopefully they might be of benefit to you. So why do we care about this topic? Because the impact of stress on physicians, and of course everyone, but the focus of this discussion is on physicians and other healthcare workers. The impact is very high. It can be in many ways. And in spite of the fact that stress can be a good thing when it's not exceeding the normal limits, that keeps us moving and keeping us motivated and pushes us forward to be productive, right? So if the surge of stress exceeds that limit, it's definitely a harmful thing. So that's why we care about discussing stress. So it depends also on how our bodies manage this stress because not everyone is equal. So in terms of physical illnesses, stress increases the risk for heart diseases, that's well known. High blood pressure and diabetes and other chronic illnesses, that's well known. However, I want to focus on the contribution of stress on the development of dementia and specifically Alzheimer's disease. Many studies focused on the significant connection between stress and dementia, including Alzheimer's disease, as I said. And many studies claim that chronic stress is a strong risk factor for Alzheimer's disease. The main idea is that chronic stress is typically associated with high glucocorticoids release, right? That leads to impairment of the mitochondrial functions by oxidative damage. And the process involved increase and accumulation of beta amyloids, which is the main feature of Alzheimer's disease. So this is the pathophysiology of the link between stress and Alzheimer's disease. So I'll put a couple of studies that discuss this issue in my reference slide. You can go ahead and check them later. But it's evidence-based and it's proved that chronic stress is a very strong risk factor with dementia. And other than that, the mental stress can trigger emotional effects, right? Such as anxiety, sadness, burnout. And we've been hearing this term a lot, specifically recently after COVID-19, the burnout, that you can't do this anymore, right? So if left untreated, it's very dangerous. It might lead to depression, and depression is a killing disease. It's really serious. So we have to be mindful and we have to take this seriously. Than that, socially, stress will affect us socially, right? Our families, the people that we live. So they will feel the pain, right? They will feel the detachment between us and them. So we need really to manage our stress carefully so that we can have healthy, joyful life. So if you care about your profession as well, the stress affects your professional performance, right? So either in terms of your decision-making capabilities or the risk of medical errors that are associated with stressful physicians. So that's also an area that requires great attention. We want to keep our jobs, so we need to avoid medical errors. So we need to take care of our stress. So the bottom line, stress is a very serious issue, and we need to focus on how to manage it and how to deal with it. We have to be clear about it. We need to find ways to minimize our stressors and to get the tips that can be helpful to either minimize, decrease, or just avoid stress. So now let's talk about some of the strategies. And honestly, there are many of them. And being physicians, you are well aware about all these strategies, right? I just want to highlight two strategies that we need to consider them more in our lives. They are the time management and the social support. Why? Because they are usually overlooked, and you might find any person in the medical careers aware about, I need to exercise, I need to have good sleep, I need to find some support when it's needed. But time management is either overlooked or not considered in our agenda, while it's very important to help decrease the level of our stress, because most of the stress in the physician's life come from being overwhelmed by a lot of commitments and how you can achieve all of that in the short day, right? So time management is a key here. And I think if you think about the golden hour, the first hour in your day, it's really critical to manage your day. So if you think about it as a golden time for you to sit with yourself, try to plan the day, try to set the agenda and the goals, because every day you have commitments you need to do, and you have other non-professional commitments you need to do, right? So setting the agenda for the day and the time plan for that is very important. Even in your non-working days, on your weekends, on your free days, you need to have that 30 minutes or 1 hour time in the beginning of your day just to sit down calmly without any interruption. Plan your day. It's not necessarily to be with a pen and a paper. It can be just sitting down, plan the day, either write down if you like writing down, or just set the day by the activities and what time you're going to do what. It might surprise you how helpful is that. And it's proven also to just decrease your level of stress. At least if you know how much you have to do, you will have plan. You will eliminate distractors. You will just avoid wasting time in something that you know there is another valuable activity you need to do, and budget your time in that way. So this is the first piece I wanted to highlight, the time management. And the one is the social support, and it's really, really very important. Don't ever ignore the role of your social network, whether with your family, whether with your friends, whether with your colleagues, even. It's very helpful to just talk about random things, just to communicate, to connect, breathe out, ventilate, and discuss any random issues. It helps relieve that tension that you have from your work or from whatever other events in your life. So social support is really critical for stress management. As I said, the other strategies, well known, you are all aware about them, and most probably you are practicing some, if not all of them. And now let's move to the important piece, which is the work-life balance. So part of our huge stress is related to the lack of the work-life balance, right? So we prioritize our work, and we spend most of our valuable hours during the day working. And the nature of the medical jobs, it takes long hours working, right? It's either because of the shift hours, usually they are long, or the other administrative commitments like notes, reviewing the follow-up notes, and other quality related commitments that's required from physicians. So all of that administrative burden participate in the level of stress that we have, and the level of lacking the balance between work and life. So we need also to be mindful about this balance, and to consider making it at least to the balanced situation, and not to prioritize the work commitment to our peace, to our self-care, to our families, because all in all, the products of a stressed physician is not like the products and the outcomes of a happy and relaxed physician. So just think about it, and try also to manage your time, to allocate time for everything, and to try not to mix up the commitments. This is an area that I believe everyone need to focus on, and try to find some solutions in this lack of balance. So we need to build our resilience. Really, we need to first understand our needs. We need to take care of ourselves, and to deal with all our needs with high priorities, because our peace and our self-awareness is number one to be able to effectively function either professionally or personally. So really we need to stand for a moment with ourselves and see what are our needs, and how we can take care of ourselves in the first place so that we can take care of others. And adaptability is another key concept, because sometimes you just need to adapt in your work. You sometimes don't have the say in a lot of things. You just need to adapt. You need to adapt to change in the organization. You need to adapt in the health system that you work for. You need to adapt to all the events that happen on daily basis and related to the encounters that you have with different populations, with different patients. You need just to adapt at some point to build that resilience. And the positive mindset is some of the magical features in resilience. So you just need to think positive, and you need to focus on the solutions and what you can do rather than what I can't do. So having that mindset is really helpful to relieve your stress and tension. What can I do in this situation? What's on my hands? That mindset sometimes is all what you need. And finally, remember, whatever is in yourself is all the time stronger than what's outside. There is one quote says, "Whatever in me is stronger than what is out there to defeat me." Whether that situation, whether that's a problem, whether that's any stressful events happen to me, all the time, remember that what you have inside you is way stronger than that what want to defeat you. And here are the references I mentioned earlier about the link between stress and Alzheimer's disease and other dementias. You might find them helpful. And thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. And I wish you a joyful life. Bye-bye.